First and foremost, I just want to, again, we've heard it consistently throughout the morning, but I really want to thank Kristen and the NREC team for the effort that they put into this. This is the second time I've had the good fortune to speak at an NREC event, and every time it has been, quite frankly, an opportunity to find inspiration in every turn, which is the tagline on their website. And just listening to the folks today, the folks at my table, and everybody, the mayors, and Sean, who's going to be coming up behind me, tall order here to follow, man. It's been no shortage of inspiration. So just by way of introduction, my name is David Kubick. I work for Maverick Corporation, which is a 30-year-old construction and engineering firm right over here in the Westinghouse building in Hyde Park. For about 8 of those years, we have been in the EV services business. And, contrary to popular belief, we find that we're seeing a tremendous amount of interest and opportunity for expansion of the infrastructure. We're more than happy to play a material role in affecting the movement of this alternate source of power to EVs. We've heard it consistently here. These are really interesting times. Certainly for the renewable and alternative energy industry, shifting policies, permitting and regulatory changes, reduction, if not complete elimination of funding initiatives has dealt our collective cause in many respects kind of a gut punch. And on a human level, it can be disheartening, right? Because you want to have everybody see through your eyes what you are creating and the opportunity that is being generated as a result of a commitment to alternative sources of revenue. This is about, in many respects, not only a commitment to business and the urgent, pervasive, and bankable opportunity that exists in all of our respective and adjacent industries, but it's also an opportunity, frankly, to create a much more sustainable future for our children. And as a father, and I know a number of you are either parents or grandparents, having that covenant with the future generation is something that I know we take very seriously, and we have an incredibly important role to play in fulfilling that vision and that mandate. I feel the challenges too, and it can be disheartening. But then, I am reminded of all the innovation that's occurred over the past 100 years, whatever it is, and the challenges that new ideas, new technology, contrarian thinking we're confronted with. So, things like the automobile. At the time it's dangerous to humans and horses. Electricity and light bulbs. The fact that there was this, gas lighting infrastructure that, existed at the turn of the century. But electricity and light bulbs are unsafe and deadly. And the infrastructure was difficult to build. The telephone, why not just send a letter? I mean, come on, telephone? And then you just go right down the list. The television, personal computers, smartphones, the internet, credit cards, the microwave oven, list goes on, right? So I think in many respects, we are kind of at that interesting tipping point of still needing to sort of justify what it is we do and how we do it, and how it can calculably benefit the market, and can also create a much more sustainable planet to live on. We recognize it at Maverick. We are one of the little specks in the fabric of companies that are part of this supply chain, making charging stations more available and in more places for more people. And one of the things that I can tell you, despite their current footing in Washington, is that the EV market continues to be shaped by consumer demand. A market that has reached the status of, again, urgency, pervasiveness, and bankability. There are over 100,000 EVs on the road in Massachusetts. There are over 8,000 charging stations in Massachusetts, many of which were installed by Maverick. Now, on the one hand, that represents great progress, but it's also well short of where we want to be in the Commonwealth, which is 15,000 chargers. So a lot of work to do. We are rising to that challenge and doing a great job. And heck, John, you were telling me there's a couple chargers that we've installed here in Cambridge. So there's a high likelihood that if you drive an EV, that you are charging publicly on a Maverick installed charger. Massachusetts is one of the bellwethers for EV infrastructure per capita nationally. Demand is real and it's accelerating. I understand there's some headwinds right now relative to incentives drying out, but again, one of the things we are seeing is consumers choosing to buy EVs based on the merits of what they have to offer and the competitive nature of what the EVs actually bring today. So it's really exciting. So when people with the loudest megaphones are doubling down on fossil fuels and being their dog in the fight, just remember, and I think this is important for all of us, is that we are winning. I was up here and I was listening to everybody, and I heard Zainab talking about shifting your perspective earlier today, and then Kathy talking about building alliances to help save the world. John about making our communities healthier. And it reminded me as they were talking about, and I'm going to go off script a little bit. I have dinner with my 87-year-old father who's in a care facility every Sunday. And I talked a little bit about coming to breakfast today, and that I was going to be meeting with a number of folks that were dedicated to the clean energy space. And I talked about how critically important this was. And my father, who is, while his body has conspired against him, is still very, very sharp and looked at me very intently and listened to me. And at one point he said, "I'm very proud of you in what you're doing for my 6 granddaughters." And it also occurs to me, in sitting here and listening to you, and I hope this isn't patronizing in any way, is that I'm proud of each and every one of you, and honored to be part of this little light that beckons change in Massachusetts, the Northeast, the U.S., and beyond. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Kristen, NREC team, thank you so much for the hard work, and I'll commit to you that we'll keep doing our part at Maverick EV Services. Thank you.